Hi, personal finance students. Happy asynchronous day. Today we are going to work on an application activity in which you will be calculating net pay. First of all, I want to show you where the activity is. You're going to go to Schoology and then the weekly agenda. We're in week 5 and 6, income and employment. And then click on the orange folder, presentations and in-class assignments. And it's right here with calculating net pay. It's going to look like this. So you're going to have a Google document with the directions and then a chart. This is what I would like you to submit, and it is going to be a grade in the grade book. So please make sure you open that up. We're going to be talking about calculating net pay today. Just a couple of things to get your mind thinking here. When you get a job, you're told that you will make a certain amount of money per week, per hour, per month, or per year. This is your gross pay. Taxes and then other government withholding is deducted from your gross pay. You may also have other benefits you want to pay for, such as health, dental, or visual insurance. Retirement and investment accounts are another option with some jobs. Sometimes your employer will match your contribution. After all of these things are subtracted from your gross pay, you're left with your net pay or your take-home pay. People are often surprised at the amount of deductions taken from their very first paychecks. You will see after you calculate it that it is a big chunk of change, and it does make you really question, hey, where's my money going? So we're going to calculate your net pay today. You are going to be Brandon Smith. He is a single man who has just graduated with a computer technician certificate and started working at Global Environmental Technologies for $22,500 a year. His gross pay is $865.38 a week. He has $46.32 deducted for health insurance every 2 weeks, $16.40 for a retirement account every 2 weeks. And then he also needs to pay federal, FICA, Social Security, and state payroll taxes. You are going to help Brandon calculate what will be withheld from his check based on the percentages listed. Make sure you round all answers to the nearest penny. So in this chart, you are going to calculate his per paycheck deductions as well as his per year deductions. Remember that he gets paid 26 times during the year. So that should help with calculating those and comparing those to make sure that you are correct. So right off the bat, I've done the federal income tax for you. Let's just take a look at how this is going to look. He pays 13% federal income tax based on his tax bracket. So we're going to take a look at our own chart here. If his gross pay is $865.38 every 2 weeks, and he is charged 13% tax rate, that would be $865.38, his gross pay for every 2 weeks, times 0.13, which is his percentage changed into a decimal. If you calculate that, you get $112.49. You can round that up to 50 cents. So his per paycheck federal income tax is 13% of $865.38 or $112.50. If you do the same calculations with his annual salary, you get 22,500 times 0.13, which tells you that his federal income tax is $2,925. So what that means is every pay period he is paying $112.50 to the federal government. Throughout the whole year, that's $2,925 to the federal government. So that's how we got this line here. Now, with Social Security, you're going to do the same thing. Social Security is also set up at a tax rate. So Social Security or FICA is 6.2%. You're going to take his gross pay for every 2 weeks, $865.38, and multiply that by the decimal for 6.2%, which would be 0.062. Remember, you move the decimal point over 2 places when you're changing percentage into a decimal. So $865.38 times 0.062 is $53.65. $53.65. So this is how much he is paying in Social Security tax. If you calculate that for his annual salary, you get $22,500 times 0.062, or $1,395. So we're going to add that to the chart. $53.65, because it's 6.2% tax rate, or $1,395 per year. I want you to pause the video here to calculate his Medicare tax and his state income tax. Remember, you're multiplying the gross pay times the tax rate, the per year gross pay times the tax rate, and then the same for the state income tax. Go ahead and pause the video here. All right, now that you're back, we're going to just take a look at those calculations. 865 times 1.45% is going to be $12.55. Remember, we're rounding to the nearest penny. So $12.55. 22,500 times his Medicare tax rate of 1.45% will get you $326.25. So now we've got his Medicare tax rate for the paycheck and for the whole year. And then state income tax, it's at 3%. So 865 times 38 times 3%, or 0.03, is going to be $25.96 for the tax, for the every 2 weeks state income tax. And then for his annual salary, $22,500 times 3%, or times 0.03, is $675. And again, we're going to add that into the chart. So now we have his state income tax done. These other deductions refer to his retirement and his health insurance. And if you remember from the very beginning, he paid $46.32 in health insurance and $16.40 for his retirement account. So we're going to go down here and we're going to add together $46.32 and $16.40. That means his total for other deductions are $62.72. Now, you might be saying, well, how do I do that for calculating for the whole year? If he is paid every 2 weeks, that works out to 26 paychecks in an entire year. So $62.72 times 26 is $1,630.72. So we can add that into the chart. So the gross pay for every 2 weeks is $865. He pays $112.50 for federal income tax, $53.65 for Social Security, $12.55 for Medicare tax, $25.96 for state income tax, and then his other deductions of health insurance and retirement are $62.72. Now we're going to go ahead and total that up to see what all of his deductions equal. $112.50 plus $53.65 plus $12.55 plus $25.96 plus $62.72 is a total deduction of $267.38. So in order to calculate his net pay, we're going to take $865.38 minus his total deductions, and that tells us that his take-home pay, what he is actually going home to pay his rent, his grocery bill, his utilities, or even just his entertainment expenses or discretionary expenses, will be $598 for every 2 weeks. We do the same thing for the per year. That's $22,500 per year. He's got $6,951.97 for total deductions. So he goes home with $15,548.03 for the net pay for the entire year. So check to make sure that your calculations are correct. And then we're going to wrap up with the last questions. You'll notice that there are 3 questions at the bottom of the Google Doc. It asks, after all the payroll deductions, what is Brandon's net pay every 2 weeks? And so you have that from the chart. His net pay was $598 every 2 weeks. But take a look at these other 2 questions. What is the percentage of his gross pay taken out for retirement? So you need to go back here and take a look at his retirement. It was $16.40 for his retirement. So in order to calculate what percentage of his gross pay is taken out, you would say $16.40 divided by his gross pay. So $16.40 divided by 865.38, and that gives you a decimal of 0.01895. If we are going to get a percentage, we are going to move the decimal place over twice. So that's 1.89%, or round it up to 2%. The last question asks, what is the percentage of his gross pay for health insurance? So same thing. He paid $46.32 for his health insurance. So $46.32 divided by 865.38 is a decimal of 0.0535. So if we move the decimal point over 2 spots, that gets us to 5.35%, or 5% for his health insurance that he's paying. Double check your answers. Make sure you've submitted your work. I hope this gives you a little bit more insight as to how net pay is calculated. It can be very surprising to see how much is taken out in deductions, but these taxes are important to pay for the society that we live in.